Welcome to week 10. I
We
can't
made it.
believe it. We made it. We've got 5 more weeks after this. It's crazy.
Going too fast.
Going too fast. I know. I love it. I kind of wish it was like basketball season or like a baseball season where it lasted so much longer, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty rough sport, so I understand.
Yeah. Injuries would be
Yeah.
mounting.
Yeah. We didn't do a recap last week. Do you want to talk briefly about
Yeah, let me look. Um,
any
BYU's
big
big win over Iowa State that did not
how high did you
begin
put him?
well.
How high did you
Where
put
did I
him?
put them?
I put mine. I was at 6. That was about as
Oh, I
confident
did
as I
one.
was.
That
Oh
was
yeah.
one.
Nice.
Yeah. Good
Nice.
for you on six. That's
We have one of our
um,
brothers that did 10, so way to go.
yeah. What else was good? Vanderbilt over Missouri. That
Uh,
turned out to be a good game.
Well, that was a good defensive game, man. Both those
Yeah.
teams like just held to 3 for like what, 3 quarters. So yeah.
Here's the crazy thing of the week. Washington creamed ranked Illinois.
Is
Why
that
was
is that
Illinois
crazy?
ranked? No, it isn't. To anyone who's like actually watching, it's like, but why was Illinois ranked?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else?
Who
Cincinnati and
who were your
Iowa.
upsets? So South Florida was the big upset for me because I was like, can we? And the funny thing is, I even talked about Memphis being my upset pick. Now, if I just listened to my gut on that, probably would
Uh,
have done better. But um,
I said Ole Miss was my upset. I
good
didn't
job.
actually pick it, but
Yeah.
they shouldn't have, like that's one of those where it's like, but are they an upset? Yeah. So
Mhm.
that was my upset of the week. So I got it. But I
Good.
didn't get it. I didn't actually pick it. So,
Yeah. One of these
oh
days
well.
we'll have to like be brave enough to make our own picks based off
Yeah.
of the show. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, good. Let me pull up this week and we can take a look at my dog's barking at me. She always does that right when I decide to record something.
Of
So,
course.
here we go. We've got a lot of fun things going on.
A lot of fun.
There's no um there's no differences in the matchup and spread predictor, and I'm gonna have to do this so that my dog can go outside. But yeah, I think for the most part, it's kind of like you look at this like Duke and Clemson, that game is like 1, and then Oklahoma, Tennessee 2. There's a couple bit of mix-ups, the same thing at the top where it's like Cincinnati, Utah. But I can't wait to start talking about some of this stuff because I think it's going to bring out some of my frustrations I'm starting to get to, which is, man, like first of all, there seems to be a lot like because there's so much parity. I think that the odds makers are heavily favoring home games. Like that's really their only thing to go off of. And so like I look at this and I'm just like, all right, okay, let's talk about. Should we go from bottom to top again? That was kind of fun.
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Duke and Clemson. Uh, I I'm frustrated by this because I'm like, how is Clemson still getting the benefit of the doubt? Duke almost beat Virginia Tech, if I remember correctly. It was at least pretty close in the first half. I don't know if they broke away. I can't remember if they broke away. I think they did at the end. But like, that's what makes me frustrated about this. And it must make Duke frustrated because it's like, I mean, where's the love? I
Yeah.
I, I don't know. What do you think?
The way I had to change my way of thinking about this because I share in the frustration
Hmm.
is the odds makers are they're not in their mind, I don't think picking the winner. They're giving a line so people will bet the game.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
want to
They're
make
they're playing up with
money,
people's emotions. Yeah.
right? The
Hmm.
match day predictor is in theory who's going to
Theory.
win,
Yeah.
in theory. It's wrong a lot of times,
Yeah.
but we're all wrong. So the odds, I agree. It's like they're 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 almost playing off of the historical bias, the bias towards teams. Like,
Yeah, the
how
the
do we get people to bet
yeah.
this?
Yeah. And
They,
the
their goal
favoritism
is
that
money.
exists. The favoritism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't know if they consciously are doing that, but maybe there's a final gut check of like, hey, no, most people are thinking this. So how do we get people to bet this?
Mhm.
And then they're going to be like, oh, most people are looking at Clemson and being like, oh, well, it's the Clemson of old. Of course they're going to win. But it's like, hey, we'll give you the points, but Duke's going to win. Or like we know Duke's are going to win or and Duke could lose. But
Because
the
they're like
one
yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say that the there's two recent common teams that Duke and Clemson have played. They both lost to Georgia Tech,
Yep.
but Duke beat Syracuse, creamed Syracuse, and Clemson lost to Syracuse.
Yeah.
Um, so that's an
Yeah.
interesting
I found this
one.
new feature of like drawing.
Oh,
Look at this.
wow. Look at
Yes. I
you.
need to get us my stylus at some point, but I'm thinking Duke on this one.
The thing is, I still
But
have some of that historical bias because it's like, but Clemson has recruits, but Clemson could be good. Now, from a ranking perspective, that's different. From a picks perspective, I think it's fair to be like, but they could upset them, but they could be good. Um, but from like rankings is a whole different ballgame where it's just like, and Clemson's not ranked. But
mhm.
like sometimes you get those teams, it's like, but why are you ranked? Like the Illinois that was 23rd, it's like, but why are you ranked? Like that doesn't make sense.
So I heard this theory that, and this goes back to all of the baloney that we've been talking about with preseason, that they think that if they've earned a preseason ranking, now earned is a little bit kind of ridiculous because they haven't earned anything at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah.
So if they've earned a preseason ranking, they deserve like being able to fall through the ranks versus being able to come up through them. And I was like, I think that's ludicrous.
Well,
I can't. I mean, that might like, explain why Illinois is
yeah.
still ranked, but like it's almost like they can't let go of the fact that they chose it themselves and they have to give them some credit. And
But
so,
take BYU.
mhm.
Last year, how do you earn it? How do you define earn it? Is how
Yeah.
you did last year,
Mhm.
which is null because of all the transfer portal and everything. But take BYU, great example. Yeah, you lost your QB, but you brought back most of your defense, most of your offense. You
Yeah.
finished 12th or 11th in the last bowl. You killed it in your bowl game and not ranked at the
Yeah.
start of the year. So define earned. Like, what does earned mean? It basically means your all your biases and your what is it? The recruits.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
don't,
the
yeah,
recruits are starting to not, I mean, starting to really mess things up. Because I feel like, yes, they all like, okay, we'll get to this, but I heard about the Texas game. Oh yeah, it's on here. But everyone's like, well, they had better recruits. And I was like, it's not mattering. It doesn't
it's
matter
yeah.
because like it doesn't. And so until I can be proven otherwise, I feel like all these metrics, which is kind of, it's the collapse of the expected, which is
Mhm.
cool. But what's hard to witness is how long it's taking like not like news structures to go with
Analysts
it.
and
Analysts,
yeah,
yeah, because they used to be able to really rely on what they had. It's like it's forcing them to have to come up with new data when that doesn't really exist right now. So I
yeah.
circled this blue for you, assuming you're picking Clemson. So I'm going to circle the ones that you're picking and I'm picking. So
Oh,
you're
okay,
blue.
we're doing that. All right. I'll maybe throw you off what I'm actually gonna do though. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Well, I've assumed based on you said that you have a little bias. So are you picking Clemson on this one?
I don't know. This because it's so low,
Hmm.
I could see going with Duke on this one.
Okay.
Um, I think a lot of times when we do the
Undo?
recordings, I'm not decided
Certain. Yeah, I'm not
yet.
decided either. Okay,
Um,
so I won't put a circle for you yet.
yeah, that's fine.
Question
I,
mark
I
there?
just I just like talking about the game.
Yeah,
So
I know. How about this? I'll circle it if we actually have a definitive answer. How about that?
there you go. That
Okay.
works. My locks.
Yeah, get your locks in there. All
There's
right,
probably not going to be a lot of locks.
no. Oklahoma and Tennessee. I'll just go ahead and circle mine because I already have a bias here. But yeah. And
This one,
I'm still struggling with the fact that Oklahoma's still up there. Also, John Mateer, I feel like he just has never been the same since his injury. And
that's
so
true.
Tennessee, I like their quarterback. I forget his name, but I like their quarterback. It was the UCLA transfer.
Aguilar.
Yeah,
No,
Aguilar.
he left.
Joey Aguilar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like him. I think he's good. This is a home game for Tennessee based on the fact that Ole Miss beat Oklahoma last week at Oklahoma. I'm thinking they're going to
No,
have a hard.
Ole Miss.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Ole Miss beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma. Beat. Right? You
yeah,
said
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
Sorry.
So
Okay.
Ole
Yeah, yeah.
Miss lost at home. So going to into Tennessee and losing, I think that's more probable. That's my pick, but I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
think,
I'm with you.
Jared?
I think
Check.
I don't have a lot of faith in either.
Hmm.
but I think I have less faith in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah,
That should be interesting. Also, I just want to point out this is a week for spreads to be really high. I mean, the lowest one is 2.5. Remember, most of them have been like 1.5, 1.5. And this
yeah,
week we've got a lot in the
got some big
mid-range.
ones.
Yeah. So this will be interesting. All right, Texas and Vandy.
I mean, I I feel like Vandy and BYU, it's like, what do
Yes.
I gotta do?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
when BYU went to Iowa State and was an underdog, it's like, what else do you want me to do except win all my games?
Yeah.
And I know Vandy lost one, but it's
Mhm.
like, what do you want me to do? Texas has been whatever. And this is one I have to chalk up to just that. How do we get people to bet
Hmm.
money on this? How
Hmm.
do we get people to be like, what? No way, you're doing that? Um, but yeah, it's at Texas, but I feel like Texas is all over the place. What
Well,
Texas is going
Texas.
to show up?
Okay, and also their quarterback is probably unlikely. He's still under concussion protocol, so it
Oh,
doesn't.
he's still there? Okay.
So they haven't even cleared him. He hasn't been practicing all week.
Yeah.
So the possibility of him playing even a full game, let's see, even plays a little bit, is pretty small. So the fact that they're not even going to have their quarterback, who's been kind of shifty anyway, I'm thinking Vandy has a really good shot. I mean, and also way to like rev up Pavia. He's going to be ticked that they're underrated on this. I mean, it's kind of like us playing. I mean, we'll get to the other ones at the top, but like Cincinnati, Utah, it's like, oh, the amount of frustration. Like, obviously, what they tell us is that it doesn't mean anything to be ranked high.
Oh,
Like,
it
it
does.
just doesn't mean anything.
Rankings don't matter, which
Yeah.
is an interesting concept to it because we were just kind of talking about how the rankings are just like, what are you doing? And
Hmm.
Vegas is financially invested
Hmm.
in this. So they're trying to figure out, they're trying to switch. I do feel like it used to be like the rankings and odds aligned, and now it's like not at all, which shows you something. It's like
Yeah.
it would be interesting to do a study of the last 10, 15, 20 years of like, were the odds and the rankings generally aligned? And this year it's just like you're seeing it all the time, where the
Yeah.
higher ranked is the underdog. Um,
Right.
I will say too on this one, Texas really doesn't have a good win.
No, this would
And
be their best win, to be
this would
honest.
be their best win.
This would be their
Except
best
Sam
win.
Houston. Remember when they were 55-0 and they're back?
That's
Oh
they
man.
can always fall
Sam
back to
Houston, Sam
that.
Houston hasn't won a game, or they won one, but they
Well,
haven't won a game.
their best win right now is Oklahoma, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Which is an okay win now. Like
it's an
it's
okay win now.
yeah.
But Vandy, I think, would probably be their best one.
Oh, easy by far at this. Yeah. And I mean, Vandy though beat Mizzou and could show,
Mhm.
hey, we can play
Yeah.
defense. We can move. They beat LSU, who I know LSU's kind of fallen here, but played Alabama tough. The score at Alabama looks worse than I think it was. It
Yeah,
was
I
pretty tough,
agree.
but
Because
um,
it was held pretty close most of the game, and then it's
yeah,
like the fourth quarter pull away.
yeah.
So are you picking Vandy on this one, or are you picking Texas?
Oh, I'll go with Vandy on this.
Oh,
I'll
you're
pick
getting
based
a
on our
blue check.
conversations.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um, and this is not locked in. We're just having fun. Okay.
yeah.
Virginia, Cal.
Thanks for clarifying that California is Cal.
Well,
First
some
off,
people don't know. Like the
Virginia
University of California?
Cal.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, first off, Virginia's been this sneaky, like, how did you get to 15?
Yeah.
Like, what? I did not see them
They're like, we
sneaking
need some
up.
ACC representation in here, and Georgia Tech is the only one that we can actually validate. So let's throw.
You,
That's the only way I can think of it.
yeah, you know what did it for them? They beat Florida State,
Yeah, they
which
did.
Florida State's whatever, and they beat Louisville, who I think was like good at the time. I'm actually gonna see real quick where either of those ranked. Florida State was eighth at the
That's
time.
right. I remember that being a big deal.
Yeah, so in double overtime. That probably skyrocketed them up. But now, see, this is what I'm talking about, where you almost need to adjust, be like, oh, that Florida State win wasn't as good as we thought. So
Yeah.
we're gonna move you back down.
Like strength of
Like,
schedule is that I feel like that's not moving and flowing with what's actually happening.
yeah, wins, winning and strength of schedule. For some reason, we're talking about potential and good losses all the time.
Yeah.
Like, what? What are we doing here?
Like scoreboard. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So, I, I this one's harder for me. I feel like being at 4, I feel like it's a little high for me because I want to say Virginia, but Cal has had one or two surprise wins. This could be a trap game for Virginia, going in there thinking that they're gonna just clobber Cal to some extent,
Yeah.
and then they don't. I could see the score being close at halftime, and everybody being like, "Oh no."
Cal has
Um,
also been shut out by San Diego State.
yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. But they had a good win. Didn't they beat Clemson or something like that? They beat
no, I'm looking at their schedule.
who did they beat?
Minnesota,
Okay,
they
they
beat
beat
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
Boston College, North Carolina.
So I think it was Minnesota, was it?
And Minnesota wasn't ranked, but I think that was before
That was like, oh, the Big Ten, you did a good
Big Ten.
job.
You did it. We did
And
it.
then, yeah, but
Um,
yeah. So
yeah,
Virginia, I think I'm gonna give it to them. For
I'm
me, I'm feeling
this
like
is
it.
a bit of a like what's the word? Like pillow fight. I feel like it's like
Like it doesn't
I don't
really
know.
matter.
Yeah. And not just that, but it's like who do you pick? Like I know
Yeah,
Virginia's 16, but then you look at their resume, it's like, why are you 16? Um,
yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Well, they're
But I'd
7
go
and
I
1. I give them respect for that. I mean,
that's
yeah,
true. 4-0 in ACC play, but it's
yeah,
like anyway, so
yeah.
I'd go with Virginia here too.
All right. Look at this. Okay. Georgia Tech and NC State. I really like Haynes King. I think he's like my Diego Pavia of the ACC. I don't know. I think that I also think College Game Day gets a real big kick out of him and all of his like commentary during their show. But I do think they have something. I don't think it's infallible. I don't think they're elite,
Yeah,
but I think they're good. And I think NC State, they're kind of a grenade team, I think. So it's a little bit shaky, but I feel pretty confident with Georgia Tech. I feel like
I would.
most go ahead.
Sorry, I cut you off. I
I
would
was just
almost.
go
I'd
ahead.
pick them up and move them up. Pick them
Yeah,
and move them up.
I would too. Like
Yeah,
I every time I've picked them this year, I feel like they've done a pretty decent job covering my anxiety of whether or not to pick them. So yeah.
yeah. They're undefeated. I give them credit on that. Their schedule.
Hmm.
They beat Clemson. That was back before people knew
Yeah.
Clemson wasn't great.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, there's not much meat
Yeah.
on the schedule. But NC State is not good. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna
They're 4 and
it
4.
is home, and I think the 6.5 spread fine, but this would be one I'd probably move
Move
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Above the next one, which is Navy and North Texas. Wow, Navy's not getting any love there. Wow.
Seriously.
I mean,
I
go ahead.
no, you go. You go first.
Like I when I was looking at who they've played, I mean, granted, are they a little bit of a, they're kind of cupcake teams-ish. But they've been consistent. I feel like when Navy's a version of, I feel like they're an FBS team. And maybe are they? Wait, are they independent or
No, they're AC. I thought they moved
ACC?
AC. AAC.
AAC. So they are
Mhm.
an F, no, an FCS team then.
Yes.
Okay.
No, they're FBS.
FBS, which one is it? Because I thought never mind. We'll have that conversation later. But
Okay.
whatever the
Bowl.
second tier team is.
Bowl is higher. Championship is lower, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So FCS.
Division two, Division one. Why'd
Hmm.
they change it? Just do one and two. Yeah.
I know.
Mhm.
So, and really, it shouldn't. Now they can qualify in the group of 6 if they really want to. But anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. North Texas, aren't they the ones that kind of, who did they play? Like Florida? No, Texas? Did they play
They
Texas? And they almost won.
played South Florida
Hmm.
and got creamed. And that's it. Everyone else is kind of, I mean, Washington State, but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. No. Um,
Um, yeah, this is the thing I will say about undefeated. Should Navy be top 10 because they're undefeated? No. I do
no, I
think
agree. Hmm.
looking at the schedule matters.
Hmm.
Should they be ranked because they're undefeated? Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
At this stage, you're 7-0. You need to at least be top 25.
Like, and
Um,
even put them out as a 25. Like, they deserve that ranking.
they deserve like any undefeated team, I think,
I think should,
pending, I shouldn't say any. I
yeah,
do think there'd be exceptions, but looking at their schedule, yeah, it's not great, but you're undefeated and you're beating some people handedly too. Like, yeah,
mhm.
there's a close game here and there, but you're also beating people too. So I
Yeah,
think they should be ranked. I don't know enough about North Texas
no, I
to
don't.
really, know, but I would probably pick Navy here, but I'd probably drop this.
Yeah, I agree. I've got Navy on this one. I don't think the spread I don't think the spread is gonna get covered.
Yeah.
But I do think for whatever reason, I feel like North Texas has, I mean, they're 7-1. And so again, is
Yeah.
that reasonable? Yes. So I don't know. Again, I always have bias of teams I've gone to see play. I went to Navy games and they are so fun, by the way. Always a flyby, worth every penny of that. But so yeah, I would put this if you are gonna pick the Navy upset, I would pick this out of one,
I'd
like
put it low,
way
low,
low.
low. Honestly, I would pick if I was picking North Texas, I'd put it low.
Yeah, I agree. So Jared's a maybe
Yeah.
on that one. All right. USC and Nebraska,
At least USC's not, well, they are ranked. They're back, baby. I think
yeah, like
they earned it.
23rd or whatever they are. I,
Yeah.
I think this is solely so that anybody can validate or Notre Dame. And this is another thing too. First of all, back to your point about anybody who's 7-0 or 8-0 right now, they should at least be ranked above Notre Dame. And I know people
Oh,
will push back on
yes.
that, but until we don't have like undefeated teams, I feel like Notre Dame belongs below that.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is one of those like we beat USC and look how great they are. It's like I don't
Yeah.
feel
No.
like that. I just don't. And they're fine. I feel like the USC is probably better than they've been in the last little while, but that says something because they haven't been good. So,
Yeah.
but I think they're mid-tier ACs or Big Ten. I don't think they're top. I don't think they deserve to be ranked.
Oh,
Like,
easy.
yeah.
Yeah. And they're going into Nebraska. Nebraska also is kind of like, okay, I saw they just extended their coach, probably so he doesn't go to Penn State.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, USC is a brand. It's an example of a brand.
Brand.
Like if this was anyone in the Big 12, most teams in the ACC, they're out. They're not they're
Yeah.
not ranked right now. Like, oh, I mean, they lost to Notre Dame, who Notre Dame's strength of schedule ticks me off. I'm like,
Mhm.
there needs to be people that are just like, you have to play a harder schedule. You
Period.
can't, you're playing a group of five schedule, but you're being treated like an elite program. So if you're going to play a group of five schedule, you should be ranked like a Boise State. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be ranked like a Ohio State.
Mhm.
Like,
And any of
ticks me
those
off.
schools are not on the top 25 unless they have like a perfect record or maybe one loss to a really great team. And that's where it goes back to like, they're like, oh, but we lost to these awesome teams. You did, but you
But you
lost.
lost.
So what? It's like at this point, like you'd still lose if you went to the playoffs. So why are we advocating for people that we know that are going to lose anyway? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. And you have no good wins. And
Hmm.
don't tell me USC is a good win
No,
because
it's
it's not. It's like USC
not.
is eh.
It's a fine win, but it's if that's their best win, then that's not a good win. I feel like
Right.
we have to qualify what a good win is, like a ranked opponent. And
Yeah.
weren't they ranked? They might have ranked them like the week before they played him. And so maybe they were like ranked 25. But still, that to me is just one of those like, I don't know what they did to earn
I
that.
think you got to look at the rankings now.
Mhm.
I hate that they keep the rankings on the games because I mean it's good for me right now to make my point that
Mhm.
it's like why was Florida State eight? They shouldn't have been eight,
Yeah,
or like now we know they aren't eight. So you need to take
yeah.
that out, like update those to be like, oh, see, you beat a current in week 10,
Mhm.
ranked 10, or you lost to a currently ranked like
Mhm.
number three in the nation. Then at that point, I'll give you more credit for the loss. But
Well,
and I guess Notre Dame could say, well, we lost to Texas A&M. Yeah, they're ranked good, but again, you got to balance. You can't. Your whole resume can't be good losses.
because or else, well, there's a lot of people that's like, fine, I'll play Ohio State then.
Yeah,
I'll consider that I'll lose, but can I consider it a good loss? I mean, like I don't
yeah.
know. Like,
Is this a
just
good
give me all the
loss?
top 12 and I'll play them all if I get a bunch of
Right.
points, you know,
Yeah.
like whatever. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say this, like, I think I'm more frustrated that USC has gotten the respect that they've gotten almost undeservedly. At least they've stayed in the bottom 20, you know, or the bottom five,
Yeah.
the 25. But I don't know that Nebraska has it to win. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like actually this goes back to maybe not the pillow fight comment, but like this is probably an evenly matched game.
Yeah.
And so
I
again,
agree.
I would put this lower. I think the spread's too high. It's too favorable for USC.
At Nebraska, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
The
give
the
Nebraska some credit here. So, yeah.
USC's losses were at Illinois, at Notre Dame.
Yeah. So maybe
So
they're
on
back.
the road against mediocre teams. Good teams, but not
Good.
great teams.
Yeah. So this is one I have a hard time putting a check mark by because I just don't know. But if I were, let's get my little check mark. I'm probably going to do this one. There's a couple upsets I think we're picking this week.
Yeah.
I would put this
I
low though. I'd put it low. So
definitely low. I don't know who I'd go with.
Jared's not
I'm
committing.
leaning towards Nebraska, but we've been the same on most everything, so you can put me as USC just so we have
Okay.
a
Some
difference.
parity in our checks. Yeah. Okay. Texas Tech and Kansas State.
Interesting game. I mean, on the surface, Texas Tech should win.
Yeah.
But how's the quarterback? I heard one of their quarterbacks, I think the backup is like out for the season,
Hmm.
and they got their starter back, and they whooped Oklahoma State, who everyone's whooping Oklahoma
Yeah.
State. But that loss at ASU, how real is that? Like, was that a fluke? Was
Hmm.
it so? And Kansas State, even though they have four losses, they're not an easy out either.
Mm-mm.
Um, I mean, they did just get whooped by Kansas, but I I don't think I think I could see Tech's gonna win,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
but I'm not as convinced as I used to. But for this, I'd still probably put it high. I'd probably put it about here just because
Hmm.
of process of elimination of other ones I've
And
moved
pushing
down.
everything else down. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you. I do think I think this will be interesting because I think this will tell the Big 12 what they need or Big 12 what they need to know about Texas Tech. If this is a close game, but I also think one of the things I was thinking of when you were talking earlier is I actually wish that they would put more weight on like November playoff games or like late October, because at this point, how many injuries have most teams got? I mean,
Hmm.
losing a quarterback and having him come back, like I think like even just looking at BYU's team, these bye weeks come like like in a
Oh
very
yeah.
like clutch situation. But I mean, how many people are still running with the elite group that they actually started the season with? And if they can still pull wins off and make these, you know, games, even if they're close, I feel like they deserve the
Oh yeah.
credit that they get.
Especially undefeated. Like going back to
Hmm.
Navy, it's like
Yeah.
you're 7-0. Everyone's had some
Hmm.
injury, lost someone for the year, I'm sure.
Hmm.
And if you're still undefeated, that should carry some more weight, I
I
think.
agree. Yeah, but I do think Texas Tech will clinch it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure about the spread, but well, actually probably so
They
with these
could.
guys.
They
I think
could.
with these
Yeah.
guys, yeah.
I'd probably keep it. Did I say that already? I'd
Yeah,
keep
keep
it
it where
high
it's
just
at.
because,
Hmm.
yeah,
Would you put it higher than the other two?
depends on how everything else
Yeah.
shakes out. Maybe just because the direction Kansas State's going,
Is
and at least Texas Tech, it's kind of like, okay, are you back? Are you what we thought you were, or are you,
but
you
even
had a
Texas,
nice
go ahead.
layup with
Mhm.
Oklahoma State, so now what?
Yeah, and I feel like even Texas Tech at their mediocre is probably going to be compete they will compete with what Kansas State has now.
Yeah.
So that's yeah, so I think I'm pretty good with that. The Arizona State Iowa State one, I mean, it goes back to like maybe some hurt feelings still about Ohio State being
Mhm.
ranked over or picked over BYU last week, but um I don't know. So Arizona State Sam Levitt's out for this game.
Is he
And
out?
I think he might
Okay.
questionably be out for the rest of the season, which kind of throws their whole
Oh,
season. I feel bad for
season.
them
Oh, yeah.
because if you don't get Sam, they are not the same team.
Yeah.
So with this one, knowing he's out, it makes this a little easier. Although Iowa State was missing some key people on defense last week, which made it easier for BYU to play them. So ultimately, I think Iowa State is it's the one I'm going to pick because I'm like, yeah, I don't see Arizona State, especially going on the road without their
Yeah.
quarterback, doing as well as they probably should. So,
My only hesitation with that is Iowa State's got 3 losses. Are they, we got 3 losses,
uh,
let's go, let's do it,
are
let's
they
win
just like,
this?
we're
Or
not
are
going to
they
win?
like,
Mhm.
okay, cool, we're gonna do it, guys, but it's like, you already got 3 losses, you know?
Like,
So,
well, do people start giving up at this time of the year if they were thinking they were going to go to the playoffs and then they realize they're like, it's probably out
yeah.
of our reach? Because once
And,
you hit
and
3 losses and you still have undefeated teams in your league, like the chance is pretty low. Like
that could even be like maybe they're not consciously giving up, but it's a subconscious like
subconsciously,
this is
like
tough,
it
you
doesn't
know?
really matter. So,
Like the Dodgers can't hit. I know they're trying, but
Dodgers. Yeah.
so anyway, it's at home, it's at Iowa State. I do think Iowa State's still like, okay, maybe we don't like we're playing for pride,
hmm
and ASU without Sam Levitt, I think is tough on the road.
Yeah.
So
Okay, let's talk about our friends over in Utah and then Cincinnati. Again, I feel for Cincinnati on this one. We were there as BYU fans. It's like I don't know why, and okay, and this even goes back to like they were in the Pac-12, sure, but is Oregon State getting that kind of like love or all these other teams that were in the Pac-12, they're not getting the same kind of like grace as other teams are. And I feel like Utah is just one of those schools where I'm like, I guess I don't understand. I just don't understand. And they're like, well, Rice Eccles is hard to play at night. I was like, well, every stadium, almost like most of the stadiums that are vying for a top spot are going to be rough to play at night.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm frustrated. Okay, now I will say this. I hope Utah wins because that would make things easier for BYU. So
True.
that's my
Yep.
only bias. But I think Cincinnati's a better team. I do think Utah is like one of those like blow it up teams that just would love to prove a point just to be like, see, we could have gone to the national championship if, some calls
Yeah.
would have went our way in different games. It's like, all right, if you want to
Of
cry about
course.
that, whatever. But
Yeah.
like, so I do think this will be I don't think the spread 10.5 to Utah, that seems pretty
So
disrespectful to Cincinnati. I don't know.
let me do my counterpoint on that. So like first off, I do like the Cincinnati story. I think it's cool. It's
Yeah.
fun. Like they
hmm
went to the playoffs years ago and hey, now they're good. They're relevant again, you know.
hmm
Looking at their schedule,
Yeah.
their best win is Iowa State,
Yeah.
which I think is a good win. And
Yeah.
Iowa State was 14th at the time, so
Yeah.
that means
Yeah.
nothing actually now. But outside of that, there's really not a great win. Um, and they've kind of, this is the difference. So they've kind of steamrolled people too. Like when they win, they're winning big. Not all of them, but most of them. So in Utah, I know is physical. I've at least seen a couple
Yeah.
games of them, but like, are they that good? Their true freshman quarterback that played last week, was that more no one had film on him, and so they didn't know how to do anything with like guard him or defend him, or was he that good?
Yeah.
And is he playing this week? I don't know yet. So I don't. I think 10.5 is a little nuts,
Yeah.
but I can kind of get why Utah's favored here because you just look at Cincinnati's schedule, and I was like, hmm, it's not. They have played in the Big 12. They played Kansas, Iowa State, UCF, Oklahoma State, Baylor.
Okay.
Iowa
But
State's the best team there.
who was their loss to? Because
Nebraska.
but is that a good loss? Is that what somebody would
I
consider
don't
a
think
loss?
it's a good loss. Like it's a Big Ten school, and
Well,
Nebraska
USC
now.
is going to count theirs as a good loss when they lose.
Oh,
So,
totally.
like, yeah.
But so anyway, like I want Cincinnati. Well, let me see. I agree with you. If Cincinnati loses, that helps BYU. So, but if I'm looking from a Big 12 perspective,
Yeah, we
you
need
want
them to win.
Cincinnati to win.
We need them to win.
Um, Now Utah, I know is physical. Their best win is
Us.
Arizona State.
No, it's us.
No, their best win.
Oh, they didn't
They
win.
didn't beat us.
Yeah.
their best win is Arizona State. And I forget if Levitt was even playing in that game or
He
not.
wasn't. He wasn't playing in
Yeah.
that game.
So that's a kind of a skewed win, and they creamed Colorado, which it's like, okay, that's fine. But
Utah's
I know
probably,
they're physical. I
yeah, they
know
are.
they're physical. I don't know how physical Cincinnati is.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot about Cincinnati in this game, I
Yeah.
do think.
Utah is a school that's a good test. I think people know it's like
Yeah,
Kyle Whittingham's built like a tough
a decent
team.
program. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're playing hard and they're gonna if you let them, crack that door open, they're gonna bust it down. Like you gotta play good defense. You gotta play soundly. Um, so there's that reputation. I'm okay with that reputation of Utah. I'm not okay with the whole like they're good. They almost get the USC treatment. Oh, you're back. Oh, you're back. Oh, you're down. Oh, you're out. No, oh, you're back. Like
Every
what?
like
Why are you
every
back?
win, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny.
Um, so I
But
don't know who to pick in this one.
do you think that this is like Utah is the version of the SEC's Georgia, where it's like this is your measure of if you can beat Georgia, then you're like that's the team
No,
you
I
have to
wouldn't
go
say
through?
Georgia because I think Georgia, they've won a championship recently. I think they're a little higher. Who would they be in the SEC? Maybe even like an Ole
Tennessee,
Miss,
Ole Miss.
Tennessee. Like where it's like they haven't won
But they've
anything
disrupted a lot.
recently, but
Yeah.
they're consistently good.
Hmm.
They're gonna beat you if you like
If you keep
they
your guard down.
they can beat you. Like
Yeah.
it it's not an easy out by any means. But
Yeah.
you can also steamroll them. Like if you're on the
Yeah.
right day, like you could beat them, but you're probably not going to steamroll
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
And you're just gonna have to hope that Kyle always wants to go for it on fourth
Oh
and
man,
like
that's right. Just get your defense together there.
um
So I am. Who are you picking in this game?
I don't know. The thing is, I actually, okay, I will start by saying I think this is too high. 10. I don't
Agreed.
know. I
Agreed.
think this is one that like put Texas Tech at a 10 and move this one down. Or Iowa State at a 10. Actually, Texas Tech is probably the most confident I am in all of these teams.
Yeah.
I, I see your logistics or your narrative actually makes sense. It does make sense. And I'm not trying to discount Utah. I just think one of the things that's frustrating for me is how much grace they're given. Um,
Yeah.
Earned grace, I get because it's not like they're a team that just rolls over. But to that point, if we're comparing him to like a Tennessee, Tennessee never quits trying. And that's what I really do appreciate about watching them play. Let's say they're never going to really make the SEC playoffs or whatever else, or like they're the 12th team in the playoffs. Well, they're going to give it their run, their best. And I feel like Utah's always going to do that. So to your point, I'm stalling because I don't know. I don't know on this one. I'm not doing a check mark. I think,
I
yeah.
I'd put it way low, but I'd go with Utah
Okay,
at
Jared.
home. But it's not a 10
Yeah,
by
like burp, 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 burp. Okay,
yeah.
push it way down.
Um, yeah, but also I think this is one of those like where people with BYU would be like, now you have oh, now you beat Arizona on the road. Cool, a little more. Oh, now you beat Utah. Oh, we believe me. Oh, you went on the road and beat Iowa State. This is a game for Cincinnati like that. Oh,
This is a poop
now
game. Yeah.
yeah, even though Utah's, I mean, they're ranked 24th, so it's ranked. Yay, it'll
Mhm,
stay there.
mhm.
This will be what's interesting is, well, I guess Cincinnati's ranked too, and game day's going there, which
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. How do
it's
we feel about
interesting.
that?
Like, I mean, go to the Holy War. Why not? Like, that
Or
was a
go next
ranked
week.
thing.
Next week to Texas Tech and BYU. I mean,
Oh,
that
yeah.
couldn't be like more of a play, like a conference playoff than really what might happen.
Especially if Texas Tech should take care of business this week. BYU's a bye. That's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
yeah, Drake Toll was already advocating that they go next week. I was like, they're not going to do two Big 12 conference
two Big
games in
12,
the
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
No, they would never do that.
It's the college game. It's a weird pick, but I
Mhm,
was looking at the schedule.
mhm.
At least from what I saw, there was no big
Game, yeah.
SEC game
Tennessee and
or Big
Oklahoma.
Ten game. So that's just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what we got. It's crumbs. But this is the thing. SEC is now getting into their mid-year cupcake games because they only play 8 conference games. Every year they all get this cupcake in the middle of the season. And it's like, what? And I was like, that's just one way they juice their stats and they juice their rankings. Is did you see them crush Sam Houston? That was amazing. They're so good.
Or they're like, we're gonna play Mississippi State or somebody. Although, okay, let's talk about Texas and Mississippi State last week. They're like, oh, they had a great win. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't with Texas. It's just like, how much grace are these guys given? They almost beat Mississippi State, and then it's like, great win. I was like,
Great.
that was a terrible win. That was a
Remember,
terrible win. And
remember
so,
when ASU, Arizona State lost to Mississippi
yeah, and
State, and
they're
everyone's
like,
like,
oh, they're
"See,
out.
you lost to the worst SEC team out there." Like
And
you
then they're like,
couldn't.
Texas, way to go, buddy. You
Way
did
to
it.
go.
I
Pat on the
know.
back. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I think I would favor Utah in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati pulled it off. Like in my heart, I want Cincinnati to win.
Heart of hearts. Yep.
Heart of hearts. But I wouldn't be surprised if Utah pulled it off. And I'm kind of rooting for that based on, what I want. But
Yeah.
anyway, so what do you think is going to be the game of the, well, obviously, I think the game of the week is probably Cincinnati, Utah. What do you think?
Yeah. That's what I thought. And Oklahoma,
Yeah,
Tennessee
that's
could
another
be
good one.
a good one, but I don't know. My upset though is Navy.
Navy.
Upset of the week.
Yeah. That was gonna be probably mine. I
What
think
about
Duke.
Duke?
Yeah, Duke is my
Okay. I
upset.
was gonna say
Yeah, but
or
that's such a
Vanderbilt
weird upset.
or
Oh,
Vandy.
sorry, Vandy. Sorry. Yeah, that's my upset of the week. It's
That see when you pick that, it's like this is stupid.
Well,
Like
because I'm
that's
like,
an
is it an
upset.
upset? It's not an
Yeah.
upset. I don't know. It's so frustrating. But I think that's what I do hope in the next year or so they calibrate how they actually do the top 25 and they have some standards that they have to apply to some extent, or they have credentials for any of these people. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm in education. For every grade that we give, we have to have a rubric, a reason why, and we have to follow a grading procedure. I feel like the same has to be said and done for these rankings in general to give it real credibility and weight to be like, okay, and then they have to post their rubrics online to be like, and here's why I chose these people.
Yes. Give reasons. Like I
Yeah.
can't. It's so annoying. And even the college football playoff committee was like, eye test. No, that's the biggest cop out. You can't say eye test because that's just your bias in
They should
there.
just say bias, bias.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
bias.
like,
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, there needs to be who would have thought we'd be wanting the BCS computers again. I remember
I
it's
know.
like you can't trust computers. This is stupid. Now it's like we need some sort of standard. Like it can't be these
Yeah.
people that are heavily invested in money and funded. Like it definitely needs to be independent. It can't be current. You cannot be a current AD, current commissioner, current. No one current should be on this committee at all.
And
And same with,
nobody associated with the team. Like,
oh yeah, no, completely independent. And with AP voting, it should be like, I almost think they should be like, if you didn't watch the game, you can't rank
yep.
anyway. Like, or maybe not. Yeah, you have to watch these games. And maybe they are like, here's consolidated views, but like waking up, looking at the box store, got my bias, got my, but guess what? I pretty much filled it
Yeah.
out. It's pretty much the
Or
same.
they have a system where they can log in to see if they've watched the game.
Yeah,
Like
something.
something that actually, again, it goes back to like, I'm sure there's a lot of fans that would be like, I will do that. I mean, granted, there's bias with fans,
Yeah,
but yeah, there has to be some sort of like justified, credible system. I mean, just ask maybe American Idol. They do something where it's like, this is official and whatever. I'm like,
yeah,
whatever. Anyway, but there has to be something, and we also have to know and be given more words. I mean, for the benefit of the team to know how they can actually qualify and actually
right.
progress. Because the eye test and all those other things are good losses and all this
You
stuff. It's
can't.
like, okay, but a good loss on one, like on week one is like that's where it's like Texas had a great loss. It's like, okay, uh,
Yeah,
okay. But then again, okay, it's the Ohio State bias too, which again, sorry on my friends that love there, but like they have, speaking of nobody, they have not given, they've slaughtered those teams or whatever, but like, it feels frustrating to me. If I were, like, if I'm looking at them, I'm putting them like, they're still ranked high because I think they're doing well.
right.
you can't get beyond a 5 unless you actually play you play a ranked
Right.
team. Period.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
Late in the season too, like
late, not
adjusting
your
for
first
it's like
game.
you
Yeah.
can't say, oh well, we beat the number one ranked team Texas Longhorns in week one. It's like, yeah, but where are they now?
Yeah, they're
Like that's
given on the
not a
week,
good
they
win.
might be in the top 25. Depends,
Yeah.
so like, yeah, and like poor Indiana, which I'm like, I'm kind of ticked for
Oh,
them.
Indiana should be one
They deserve
right
it.
now.
They
They've
deserve it.
earned it.
Mhm.
They've
Yes.
earned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Other interesting thing, Ohio State, Penn State, I think play this week.
That
Not
was a
even
game.
on here,
Yeah.
not even College Game Day, I'm sure had that one circled at the beginning of the year, like we're gonna
Yeah.
go there.
Big Noon
And
Saturday is
so
going.
look
Yeah.
how, but look how far that Penn State has fallen, where it's like we're gonna go Utah, Cincinnati, and
Yeah.
Salt Lake City instead of a chance to go to
Well,
whatever.
what's so sad, because I remember thinking that would be a great game to go to, and it would have been early in the
Yeah,
season, but I'm glad I didn't spend the money because those tickets were crazy, crazy town
yeah. I
expensive.
wonder what they are now.
They're like people giving away.
Yeah, people are just like, oh, I it just need something,
They're
you
like, we
know?
want to go see Ohio State. And here's what's going to be funny about this. When Ohio State slaughters them or whatever, it's going to be like, look, an
Look
amazing
how good
win.
we are. They beat the Penn State. Can you believe it? Yeah.
I would love for that game to be close and then confuse a lot of
Oh
people.
man, if Penn State pulled off a win, that would be amazing. We
Because,
need someone to pull off a win on Ohio State
yeah.
and on Notre Dame, but their schedules don't allow. The only hope we have for Ohio State is Michigan rivalry game.
Yep.
Crazy
But
things have
even
happened.
then, they won't fall far because it's
Yeah,
rivalry or whatever.
right. If
So,
they get the grace of it's a
yeah.
rivalry.
So
Yeah,
if if Ohio State were to lose to Penn State, I don't think they could even be justified to stay in the top 10.
yeah, but they'll find a
It'd
way.
probably be like 8.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like,
They might rank Penn State after that. Um,
they're like, wait, hold
for
on, coach, come back. We're just kidding.
wait, hey, we have pretty good. No, it's not
Um,
going to happen. But I mean, if Ohio State lost to Penn State,
mhm.
should be low, out of top 10, fringe top 10. Like,
I think
but
it should be 11 or tied for 10 or something like
yeah,
that.
you
Like
should
where
go
we've
fringe.
been as BYU for like the last however many weeks.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's your first. Well,
it's
it's
a
a
bad
bad
loss.
loss.
It's a
It's a
bad loss.
bad loss. It's
Yeah.
not a good loss, and
Well, and
everyone loves a good loss.
yeah, well, and everybody else has. I mean, Miami had I would call it a bad loss to Louisville. That was not expected.
Yeah,
They fell pretty, reasonably
yeah, they
far.
didn't fall too
Oh,
long. People
and
gave them,
then Louisville went and got ranked, I think. And
yeah.
so, or I don't know if they are still, but anyway, but like I think that'll, yeah.
It's
And
just
not to say that they won't cause damage like they did last year, because they lost once and then they went on to win the whole national championship. But this goes back to like earn it, earn
earn
your
it.
top.
Yeah.
Feel like the top 5 should be reserved for people who earn it. And so,
Yes. You've beaten someone. We don't have to say you got a good loss. You
yeah.
got a bad loss. Like there's no good losses in
Hmm.
the top five unless everyone has a good loss.
There's only
Other than
good
that,
wins.
there's only good wins.
Yeah.
Good wins, top five. I like that.
Yeah.
And if no one's got a good win, then we really got to look at ourselves and be like, what the heck's going on? And that's where the parity is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get, well, I don't get how Ohio State, they have to have, I would be curious where their strength of schedule is because they have to have one of the softest Big Ten schedules
Hmm.
at all. And I think they were relying on Penn State to be there, and it's like, well, they're not. So now you
Between
don't
that and
have anything.
Illinois, which I
And
think
Illinois,
I think the reason they kept Illinois ranked is to be like, well, we need something.
yeah.
It's like, okay.
And so it's like they have the softest schedule. Could they win the national championship game? I think so,
So it's
but
not even a disrespect to that. It
it's
has
not.
more to
It's
do with
just you
like,
haven't earned anything.
well, and like you look at Texas A&M, dude, and like they still keep getting flack from even their own conference that they belong there in the first place. They beat LSU and LSU coach gets fired. And so,
Yeah.
but then they're like, oh, well, it probably wasn't that great of a win. It was like, no, it was Death Valley at night, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
And for the first half, it was pretty tight, and until it pulled away. But um, like it's so frustrating the bias because like what do these other teams have to do? Like Indiana deserves, I think, to be number one. I think Texas
For
A&M
sure.
is number two. Those are the
Yeah.
two I'm most sure about. And then really, and then it's then calibrating the rest of the conference champion leaders in that order. But like it shouldn't
Yeah.
be something where it's like Georgia Tech and BYU, the leaders of their two conferences, are like way low, and
Right.
that's not okay.
Georgia Tech's 8 now, but still, like they're undefeated leader. They beat Clemson, who we know Clemson's whatever, but if you're going to go by the standard for SEC Big Ten, you got to apply it
Yep.
to
And again, they've
other
earned
teams.
it to some extent. They've earned the right
Yeah.
to be there. And so I think, yeah, I think we've just revolutionized the playoff system. But I also, what do you think? And this is gonna, now that we're this next week, they're going to be announcing the playoff rankings, which that will be a whole
Yeah.
different shift.
It's going to be drama. I have zero faith in the playoff committee.
Yeah,
They've never,
because it's the same group of like very biased people. So,
if even the SEC is complaining about it, which, wah, we only got 4 teams or whatever it was in, if they're complaining, like, and their commissioners posting. Remember last year he posted strength of schedule in BYU. It got a lot of flack because BYU is like ranked third amongst SEC teams in strength of schedule, and BYU never got talked about. And it's
yeah,
just
they're like,
like
oh, we won't talk about
the
that.
amount of disrespect. And so like I remember comments were like, "What this shows me is BYU's really good," and
Yeah,
so he won't make that mistake again. But
yeah,
it's going to be full of SEC teams. But it should be. I think Robert Griffith III said it on something, and I think I said it on here before. But he's like any undefeated Power Four team should be up near the top. They
agreed.
should not be like down the bottom. But I also think like Ohio State, okay, they're undefeated Power Four team, but also it doesn't mean they have to be one.
No.
They could be a top five. They can be a top six undefeated. I would be more okay with that than with
Or can we
we're
go
just
to
putting them up there.
can we go to the seating system where it's like, okay, we have four one seats, like, and maybe for the four power rankings or whatever. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
what's hard about this is it's really hard to compare. I mean, you really
Yeah.
can't start comparing until they play off. But yeah, I there was a reason I actually brought that up and I've totally lost it. But anyway, I think from my perspective, what'll be interesting in the pivot is I think it's got also going to start skewing how people play games. Because if let's say there's certain people that are in the low 20s and like maybe right off the 25 cuff, I wonder if they give up or are they just
Mhm.
like, I want my conference to do well, so go BYU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't know.
If only
Yeah.
Kansas did that last year,
Yeah, that'd be
BYU would have been
nice.
a
Jeez.
different
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking at the top 10 and it's like it's kind of ridiculous the
Well,
amount of SEC teams up there. But I think they're going to pick themselves off a little bit too.
you would think so with parity because I think if I counted the top 25, 10 of the top 25 or close to that was the SEC. And then it's
Mhm.
like divided up amongst the rest of us. Like all the rest of the Power Four conferences get between four and five. And
Yeah.
so, and that's really frustrating. I think, SEC commissioner, he's obviously good at his job. But at the same time, as like the narrative and because if they do keep picking each other off, they can't rely on well, that was a good loss anymore. It's like, no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, three losses and below. It's kind of like you have to be out of the conversation at some
Yeah.
point.
That's why we
So,
need Notre Dame to end, but Notre Dame would find a way back. The fact that they're 2 loss and above a 1 loss Texas Tech, um, and a 1 loss even Cincinnati, it's like I'm so sick. We've said it a million times. I'm so sick of good losses.
no.
It's stupid. You have 2 losses. You should have dropped out. That's the thing. They had 2 losses, never dropped out.
Yeah,
They should have had two
never.
losses, drop completely out, and earn their way back in.
With
Vers-
good wins.
And this is why the preseason rankings are bogus because it's like you started up here
Yeah.
and you only fell here, but you should have been completely out.
Like with
Um,
every other team that wasn't even on there in the first place. And every
yeah,
win they've had that's good isn't honored by going to the top 25. So,
right.
yeah.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
Well,
Anyway,
it'll
good
be an
stuff.
interesting Saturday, and I think it's only going to get more interesting from here. But
Agreed.
I do think this might be a Saturday of several upsets. Because
See it. I hope so.
I mean,
Let
at some
chaos
point,
ensue.
yeah, let chaos ensue. And maybe if the stars are aligned, maybe we'll see an interesting Penn State game.
Oh man, wouldn't that be great? Penn State, or if Ohio State loses, Notre Dame loses, and some other ones. Yeah, would be great.
Yeah, that we'll have to see.
Not
I
gonna
don't think
happen.
not going to happen. But anyway, go team, go
All right.
football.
All
All
right.
right.
See
Bye.
ya. Bye.